What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com bringing home the bacon PGA DFS video for the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. So this is a no-cut event. So kind of in an event like this, when there's no cut and you don't, like, your strategy-wise, studs and duds, stars and scrubs, however you want to say it, obviously, really like this. Weather should be good. I know, and we talked about this in last week's video, but the weather last week on Saturday was going to be pretty trash. We were going to have everything else good up until that day. And one of our subscribers and one of our people in our Discord, which the link is absolutely free down below, was doing very well up until Saturday, where the weather did play a factor. So as of now, unless something weird pops up, we should be good with weather. So let's definitely pay attention to that. But what we're going to do in this video, if you've never been here before, we do have giveaways every single time. And here's how to win. Like this video, be a subscriber, and leave a comment in this video. If this video gets at least 50 likes, you will have a chance to win a free week of FTA Plus. Now, that is a week of every sport, not just PGA. So I'm talking a week, current week of NBA, PGA, MMA. And then next week, NFL one last time. NASCAR once it comes back, and MLB once it comes back. If this video gets at least 100 likes, you will have a chance to win a free week or a free month of FTA Plus. 150 likes, a chance at a free year. 200 or more likes on this video, a chance at a lifetime pass worth $500. So make sure you check that out. That is the way we are going to have a chance to win in this video. Hopefully you are ready to rock and roll. Now, I don't love this slate. If I were to have a confidence rating, it's probably more yellow-red instead of like yellow-orange or green. It's a Pro-Am, so we know what those mean. Just kind of looking at this stuff, kind of looking at this stuff, the weather should be good. I will kind of go through. We'll go at the end of this video. We'll go through some of our bets that we like, but what we're gonna cover is some of the plays we like at each category on here. We're gonna look at their previous matchups. We're gonna look at how they've done in this event. We're gonna look at how they've done recently as well. But if you want to see everything that has to do with PGA, we've got our Bacon Station, we've got our simulations for both FanDuel and DraftKings, and we have our cheat sheet, which has top plays, mid plays, value plays, and then lineups there as well. So the big key name of the game in PGA, kind of just like every other one, is ownership. So kind of looking at the ownership, that'll all be on the Bacon Station there. So that being said, we're going to jump into it. We're not going to go over all of them because I don't want this video to be very long, but players that I am targeting the most, we'll start with them, and we'll go down the list for that. So if we are looking, we'll talk, we'll look, we'll enjoy. So the one that just like pops out of nowhere the most, for whatever reason, that we're looking at is Patrick Cantlay. So I look at him, and he just seems so cheap for some reason. I'm not 100% sure why he is so cheap. He's 11.2 on FanDuel, is 9,400 on DraftKings. So depending on which website you do play on, that is there. Some do play on Yahoo, so we are going to build a lineup. So at the end, we're going to build a DraftKings lineup, we're going to build a FanDuel lineup, and we are also going to build a Yahoo lineup. Okay, so we're going to look at Patrick Cantlay, 11,200 on FanDuel, 9,400 on DraftKings, looking at what he brings to the table. So if we look at Patrick Cantlay in this place before, he has the 6th best odds to win, but I really like him to win. We look at this course history. Last year, 11th place. 2023, he did not play, followed by a 4th place, a 3rd place, and another 11th place in 2020. So, ton of top 11 finishes. Has had success. Did not play last week. The week before that, he placed 5th, then took a week off, and the week before that, in the Century, he placed 15th. So he's been doing very well. He's made every single cut. He's at the top of my list. Being 5th best to win. The best is Scotty Scheffler. We know that he's a stud, or if you don't know, he's a stud. He wins everything. But I think people are going to be on him. You're going to get a little bit of leverage if you go with Patrick Cantlay. So I am looking at him. I like what he brings to the table here. just depending on some other players that I'm targeting even more. Sung J M. So if we're looking at M, he has, let's see. He is expensive. 26 to 1 odds to win. Last week he did let everyone down. He got 60, or last year he got 66th. And then the only other year that he ever played here was 2019. He got 101. So not the best course history. But last week he got 4th. The week before that, while we were on him with our core, he got 91st, but he had a bounce back week last week. Then in the Century, 2 weeks after or before his 91st place finish, he got 3rd place. So outside of that 91, the past 3, he's been in the top 5. So looking at that, currently or recently, he's done well. But again, in this course, the 2 times he's played, he has not done well. And if you don't want to pay up $11,000, I get that if we're in that same range. So that's another one who's got some recency there. If you want to look at made cuts, driving distance, driving accuracy, and greens and regulation, projections or percentages of what he's done recently, all of that is on our Bacon Station. Another one that I'm looking at, and we were on last week, is Willie Zally. So Will Zalatoris, a little bit cheaper option, 49 to 1 odds to win. He has not played this course since 2021, where he got 55th, and then in 2018 he got 68th. So not the best, but definitely in there. Did not play last week, withdrew. So that's the thing. So last week, some of our plays in the video they withdrew, and that's unfortunate because that's it's kind of in the same boat as MMA. Someone could cancel the fight day of because they miss weight or they're sick or whatever. That's kind of the same. Normally with a Pro-Am, they won't do that. There are obviously there might be a little bit, but I don't think there's going to be as many as we saw last week, which is great, and that's exactly what we want to look at. Another one that I'm looking at is Adam Scott. Cheaper option, mid-tier option, especially on DraftKings at 7,600. So if we look at Adam Scott, and we look at what he's done here. 65 to 1 odds to win. He's only played here twice. He played here last year and got 20th. So if you are betting and want to go top 20s, he's had that here. But back in 2018, he had 111th. But it's been a while. And he has not played the last 3 weeks. I can't remember if he played last week or was going to play last week and withdrew, or he just wasn't. But he got 15th place at the Century. So a lot of people played the Century and then took some time off, which is completely fine. Scheffler has not golfed in a minute. It's been over like 2 months. For whatever reason, taking time off because these are the tournaments that they just don't want to do. We'll see that. So Adam Scott is a sneakier pick, I think, being mid-tier down at the bottom. Mid-tier picks that I'm looking at, so players I'm targeting, but not as much as the guys above. Tony Finau. We look at Tony Finau, and it will just depend on what you like. We used him last week. He got 47th. He did not play. Or last year he got 47th. He got 38th in 2019, and he got 23rd in 2017. His recent golfing, we'll call them excursions, 71st last week, 80th the week before, took the week off, and then 15th in the Century. So it seems like every single player, every single golfer played the Century, did not do very well. His recent forms, not the best. And he's only made the cut 25% of the time recently, 75% of the time long term. So this is more of a tournament pick. Again, this is a boomer bust type tournament being a Pro-Am. So that's always, will I have a lot of exposure to Finau? Probably not. I'll have a little bit. And it's just because he is cheap. And it'll be one of those boomer bust lineups where I pay up for Patrick Cantlay, or I pay up for Scotty Scheffler, and I throw in a Tony Finau or an X and a Y and stuff like that. Another one I'm looking at is Tommy Fleetwood. He's got 32 to 1 odds to win. I think he's in the top 10 bets for this week. This course history, he's only played here twice. 31st last year, 45th in 2019. He has not played in a while. So if you look at Tommy Fleetwood, $11-13, the DP World Tour. So November 13th is the last time that he played golf competitively. So it's been almost 2 months, just like a lot of other big golfers. Well, I wouldn't say big golfers, but the other golfers as well. So we look at this. This is the kind of thing where I said last week, it shouldn't affect the golfer that much, because it's not like he just took 3 months off and hasn't been playing. He's been golfing. They golf every day. They practice every day. So don't let that deter you. It has been a while for Tommy Fleetwood, though. Another one is Maverick McNeely. We talked about him last week, and I wanted to bring him back into the realm of who are we going to play. So he has played, technically, he was going to play 5 straight times. This would be his 6th time. Last year, he got 39th in 2023. He withdrew, whether or not that was injury or sickness. He withdrew. 2022, 33rd. And then 2021, he got 2nd place. In 2020, he got 5th place. So he had 2 top 5 finishes there. He's played the majority of tournaments, the past tournaments, unlike Scheffler and Rory. So last week, 52nd. Took the week off in the Century, or in the one before that, 45th. In the Century, he got 8th. And then the RSM, he got 1st place, followed by 17th, followed by 6th place, withdrew, and then 16th. So his form, 5 of his last 7, he's gotten top 20s. And 3 of those 5, he's gotten top 10s. So we can look at that, and his recent forms have been pretty good. He is a cheaper option both on FanDuel and DraftKings, and we can take a little bit of solace in that, knowing that he's had success before. Recently, he's been there. He's more of one of those boomer busts. You're not paying a ton. I wouldn't say he's in every lineup. I wouldn't say he's a core play, but he is a play that I do really like. And then some players that I'm going to have a little bit of exposure to. And it just depends. Jordan Spieth. We look at Jordan Spieth. It's been a minute since he's been in prominence, but he's played this course every year since 2015, which he is one of the only ones that has played. There's a handful of them that have. Not a ton of these golfers have. In these games, 2022, he got 2nd place. 2021, 3rd place. 2020, he got 9th. And then we go back to 2017, he got 1st place. And 2015, he got 7th place. So he has had 5 top 10 finishes at this course. He is another one that has not played. Is it November? When the season ended. No, Spieth has not played since August. He had a wrist injury. So it's been a while. He has not played. Again, he's a cheap option. A wrist is a thing. Obviously, they use the wrist for golf. It's been a minute since he's played. In that one, he didn't really do well. But again, +9, -2, +5, -1, -15 back on July 4th. John Deere Classic absolutely just killed. -15 and still got 26th place. So it's been a while. He's missed the cut in some of these. He is more of a boomer bust. And so I'll have some exposure, but not a ton of exposure to him. And, always coming back from injury in any sport, it's a little scary. Another one I'm looking at is Russell Henley. The pricing discrepancy is weird. So on FanDuel, he's $10,000, which is a decently high price. On DraftKings, he's $7,900. So it's really weird. You come into this one, 53-1 odds to win. He's only played this course 4 times. In 2024, he got 58th, and then back in 2019, 101st, followed by 15th in 2018, and then 2016, he got 112th place. So he has not had a ton of success here. Recently, he's not played a ton. So if you look at Russell Henley, Russell Henley, we look at this one. Played January 9th, played January 2nd, and then played December 5th. And that is it. It's been a minute since he played since then. Did very well in the Sony Open in Hawaii back on 20 days ago. -12 got 10th place, 103.5 fantasy points per game. Then he had 95. So 2 of the last 3 times he's played, he's got 95 plus fantasy points, which is something you need, especially at 7,900 at this price. So he's definitely one that is always up there when he plays. It's just has not played in a long time. And then I'm looking at Tom Hoge or Hogue. I don't really know how you say his name. Again, I don't follow golf religiously enough to know the how to pronounce the names, like baseball. Kind of the same thing with NBA, MMA. I can't pronounce some of the names, but that doesn't matter. That has nothing to do with what we bring here. So if we look at Hogue, or let's just call him Tom. We'll call him Tom here. Looking at this, 116-1 odds to win. He has played this course every year since 2015. 6th place last year, followed by 40, or before that, 48th place. In 2022, he did win this. In 2021, he got 12th. And the other ones, he got not so well. He's one that has played recently. Did not play last week. Week before that, he got 29th, 45th, 8th. Took some time off, 45th, 56th. Cut in the Shriners Open in October. And then tied for 7th in September. So he has had success. He has made 6 of 7 cuts, averaging 79.3 fantasy points per game on DraftKings, $7,300 price. He is one that should make it in one of your lineups as a very boomer bust type play. And that's kind of what we look at. So what I want to do, those are just some of the plays. If you want to see all the plays, you want to see simulations, you want to see our cheat sheet, go check out fantasyteamadvisors.com. You can check it out right here. It is $10 for a week. It is $30 for a month. That is $1 a day if you want to get in it. Check it out. Have a chance to win a free week, month, year, or even a lifetime pass if this video gets 200 likes. So that being said, we are going to build a lineup on DraftKings. Early lineups looking at ownership percentages. Actually, you know what? We're going to go over ownership percentages first. So these are some of the plays that have a projected ownership. Now, some of these guys may miss the cut. Some of these guys may withdraw between now and when we start this thing. I think it's 10:35 a.m. Central. Yeah, 10:35 a.m. Central. So it's not one of those 5 a.m. starts. The highest projected guys that I am looking at right now with simulations. Tom Kim at almost 10%. Bhatia at almost 10%. Okay. We've got Lucas Glover at 6%. We've got Ricky Fowler at almost 8%. Sam Stevens, 7%. Lee Hodges, 6%. Players that are under-owned that I think you want to be on over the field and you want to take this. Taylor Pendrith got him projected at 11%. I think he should be more than that. I love him here. We've got Tommy Fleetwood, which we've talked about. We've got Sepp Straka that I want to look at. Sepp Straka about 7%. Keegan Bradley about 9%. I want him a little bit more than that. Not a lot of people talking about Rory. We're looking about 17% from him, but I still think that's under-owned. I think he gets a top 10 finish in this one. Russell Henley, we talked about 10.6% ownership. I think he gets a top 15 this week. Adam Scott, I love. I'm looking at Adam Scott, especially on DraftKings at his price. Top 20 would be where I'd look at for him. Sam Burns at 13%, almost 14%. Patrick Cantley, percentage-wise, under-owned, still projected at 22% ownership. I think he should be more than that, especially for his price and a possible top 5 finish. And then Ludvig Åberg, 9,900 on DraftKings, 14% owned. Top 10 finish is where I've got him early projection. So those are some of the ownership percentages. If you want to see the rest of them, those will be in our simulations. Those will be on our cheat sheet as well. So what I want to do is I want to go boom, boom in your room. I'm looking at Patrick Cantley. I don't know how I get away from him. is going to be in a ton of my lineup. So looking at the ownership percentages, looking at the simulations that we've run early today, these are just some of the plays that I like. Want to build around. Sepp Straka, 2 top 10s, made 7 of 8, averaging 69. Nice. The rest of the way, we've got 7,900. This is where you can find it. I don't trust Jordan Spieth enough. Gracerman, we used him last week in that Farmers Open. He got 48th place, 60 fantasy points. Didn't do enough for us. We talked about Tom Kim last week. Thigala we could look at. Top 50 or tied for 52, 37, 36. Recently, he's not done a ton. The crazy thing is, tied for 36th place at minus 15 at the Century, still got 100 fantasy points, which is, if you've never played, it's pretty good considering what place he got. Bo Hossel, we used him last week. He got top 15 for us, 65 fantasy points. What I'm looking at is Adam Scott, not the actor, but the golfer. So you look at him. It's, he played the Century, got 15th, 115.5. Then he didn't play since November 13th, got 94, 91, 62, 77. So that's kind of what we're looking at. This is a early lineup, but I do not mind this lineup whatsoever. I probably will change a little bit. We'll see, depending on any news that comes out. But again, shouldn't affect much. Ownership percentage-wise, if you added all of these up with our early simulations, about 70% ownership, which is a pretty good ownership to have on the field. Fantasy point-wise, right around 680 projected fantasy points out of here, which obviously we're not always going to hit the projections because once they, if everyone hit their projections, everyone would break 1,000 with golf. So we look at this. This is a pretty good lineup. This is a tournament lineup again with golf. I only play tournaments. I don't play cash. But I've spread it out and changed it up a bit on the cheat sheet if you guys are looking at the cheat sheet with plays and ownership and all of that stuff. So we've got top plays like high price plays, mid price plays, value plays, tournament. If I play cash, I'll put a couple of, if there's certain players that I don't mind in cash, they'll be in the cash tab there as well. So that being said, we look at the FanDuel lineup, kind of the same thing. Patrick Cantley made his way in there. Tom Hogue is in there. Sung Jung Im, if you want to pay for somebody else, like if you wanted to take Im out of there because you don't trust him because he screwed you over last week, which is fine, or the week before that, I don't care. You could look at Sam Burns. You could look at Jason Day at 10,600, averaging 98. But I'm going to go with Sung Jung Im there. Again, Lee Hodges, Taylor Pendrith. I love Pendrith this week. Hopefully he makes a cut, which he should because there is no cut. Corey Connors is another one there. So that is a lineup that I look at. And not a ton of you play on Yahoo. I get that. But Cantley made his way into my lineup again. Pendrith made his way into my lineup again. You got Adam Scott. You got Sepp Straka. You got Colin Morikawa. And you have Mark Hubbard all rounding out. And you've still got $2 on the table. So if you wanted to go with somebody else, maybe you didn't want to go with Morikawa. You wanted to go with someone at 46. You could get Rory, you could get Scotty. If you think Scotty's going to dominate because he dominates everything he's in, put Scotty Scheffler in there. I don't mind that whatsoever. So I'm going to submit my lineup there, and that is that. So that's just some of the breakdown of the Pebble Beach Pro-Am. If you want to see the whole article, that'll be linked down below. If you want to see our projections and our simulations, those usually go out and are updated throughout the day on Wednesday when the tournament starts on Thursday, which most do, except for last week. It started on Wednesday. It's usually Wednesday night. We'll update everything and push it out for you guys one last time for you. Weather not being a concern, it's only between now and tonight if people withdraw early or if we see anything like that. So that shouldn't affect anything, but we are just waiting for some news to see if anyone will go ahead and withdraw, which I don't think we will see that. So I think we're going to be pretty good. So that's what I've got in this video. Any questions, comments, concerns, get those down below. Do not forget to like it and leave a comment for the comment picker to pick you up. And let's just have some fun out there. And most importantly, let's bring home that bacon, guys. Peace.